So after finishing this episode of Fairy Tail, I felt quite mixed on it, actually. Like, nothing wrong with the actual story content that was being in the actual episode. So that all I liked, well, apart from one part that I'll get into later on. But definitely animation-wise, like, I quickly wanted to address this, like, it wasn't great. Art was fine. Animation was very lacking, very still, very not too, like, active, and it was a little bit disappointing in my own eyes just to see that as we're literally seeing Dragon Force fucking Natsu for like the first time in the actual 2014 run. So yeah, coming off that, I didn't want to come out too negative as like starting off this video, but I generally enjoyed it. Like, we finally got the conclusion of the whole fight between Mardgeer, Grey, Natsu, and we get to see like all this stuff here. All of Volume 48 is concluded, and well, we're going to come into one of my favorite volumes, actually. Well, one of my most favorite parts is 49. Like, just there's going to be some feels next week, I can tell you. And honestly, like, the most negative thing I have to say about the story in this episode is literally the first part when Memento Mori was dropped and Grey takes an entire nuclear bomb to his fucking face like that. It was noticing. And I remember in the manga, it was like, oh my god, all his face is all black. But no, that's actually part of the ice devil power going there, as we saw it like disappear after his like magic just pretty much ran dry. And I was like, he took that. Okay, but then he had, like, able to, like, get straight back up and fire an arrow about it. Like, it's not about taking the hit for Natsu, it's mainly taking the hit and then being able to get up again and do one final take. Like, that was the only nitpick I had. The rest I absolutely enjoyed. Seeing, like, Natsu, this is the first time that he's pretty much been able to go Dragon Force mode without being able to, like, need any supplements at all. So it's definitely shown that Natsu really growed right there. This is the first time he hasn't had to have Therios, he hasn't had to digest it, he hasn't had to have the Flame of Rebuke, he hasn't had to have anything, and he was able to do it for a very short amount of time, actually. He was able to... This is the bit I love Dragon Force when it was being activated, just that hidden fucking fire form, like secret lows, whatever the fuck it was called, was awesome. But when he was transforming, it was literally just still images being at like 1-bit, 2-bit, like all over his face, and I was like, that looked really bad in my eyes, but it's like, oh, Dragon Force is so fucking cool. Like, it's so cool. I absolutely love that form, and it's like, it's really underused a lot in the series. It kind of like, got kind of rubbed out a bit like there after a while. I'm like, really, man? Like, did we have to like not see it for a while? I mean, ever since you got like the Lightning Fire Dragon mode and like dragons like God Slayer, like stuff like that, it's like it kind of got a little bit of a mitted out, it felt, but now it's really good just to see it. And well, I'm happy to fucking see it. It's like, I'm going to be mad excited when we see it more in the future if Natsu does it all. And honestly as well, one thing like apart from that, it's like when Face was activating, because we were seeing like more fucking recaps of the, like with Urza's fight. It's like, we get it. Like, fucking Kyoka's down. Let her fucking die like that. And like after the whole fight was finished, after Grey fired off like the Ice Zero arrow, like popped it onto like Mardgeer, Face was activating, everyone was losing their power, and it was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? What was gonna happen? Like, we have no idea what's gonna do with all this shit. Like, I'm really, like, worried. And then when we actually see it, all the fucking dragons come out. I mean, like, Grandine, Metallicana, and I was like, this is what we want to fucking see. Like, because everyone else can do it. I really did like they added that part into it. I don't remember that being in the manga, where you got to see Kagura, you got to see, like, all the other Sabretooth members, you got to see, like, even the fucking, like, motherfuckers, like, the wild wolves, or whatever they're called, the wild 4 or something like that. Like, they were really cool to see again. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers even try. Like, even you got like Twilight Ogre from the start of the Grand Magic game. I was like, who the fuck would even think of adding them? It's like, you know what? Fuck it, fine. I'm fine with that, having those motherfuckers in there. And even still, they couldn't do anything. And even as well, when we had Ichiya with his giant ship, it didn't do anything as well. And it was led up to the dragons just going in, charging in. And it was like, honestly, the whole of like Magnolia was in a panic. Like, you couldn't do anything. Like, Magnolia, Fiora, they are all fucking screaming in terror. Like, it's like, we've lost magic, we can't do anything. And they thought did we just literally do this all for nothing? And luckily the dragons came around and Igneel was like, yo, don't give up hope, as he's literally curb stomping like Agnologia on the ground. And I'm like, Igneel, that's a good fucking way to do things right there. Just fucking curb stomp like fucking like Agnologia on the ground. He's like, yeah, watch as the dragons dance and Ishgar like that. I was like, that's, you know what, if you're gonna do it, fucking do it like that, because that was pretty boss. Like, overall, everything of the story was fine apart from the little grey thing that still, like, a little irritates me today. I feel like, you know what, if there was going to be something, it should have just been Natsu finishing off because he was already weak enough as it was. But it's like, if you're going to do a tag team, like, there's good and bad moments to it. But it's like, honestly, the biggest disappointment in the episode was honestly that the animation was just really a lot of still images. Like, I really didn't like that. And just, like, I really hope like that isn't, like, a warning for future episodes to come and all that. Maybe that's just because we're at the last parts of like of all of like, you know, the fairy tale with the Tartaros arc. We've only got 3 more chapters left until like the final one. And seeing that preview and all that, it looks like it's very fixed up. I was getting a lot of feels when I was seeing that. I'm not going to say why for anime only, but I saw a lot of feels in that stuff, and I was like, no, I have to wait till next week, and I'm probably going to be balling like a bitch. So overall, I really don't know what to give this score of the episode, because the animation was a huge fucking hindrance on this episode. I feel like if it comes out on Blu-ray and they clean it up a little bit, it'll be fine, but even still, I cannot overlook that. And the story was fine apart from the grey moments, so that is a big negative in my eyes as well. Honestly, I would give this to a 6.5, like to near 7, even though the stuff that was in it, but mind you, the good is kind of cancelling out the bad bits as well, but only just slightly. So 6.5 to even 7 is pushing it. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this episode, because I enjoyed it, but holy shit, I hope they clean this up and all that, because that was really still, and I did not like that. Like, for the final little act and all that, or this Manga stuff, we need to be seeing, like, fist fly, crazy animation, and everything just blowing the fuck up. Like, the best looking part of the animation was the dragons, honestly, going fucking apeshit. But that's all for me, so thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.